Hi, I'm William Collier. 3 years ago, I was invited to come and speak at the Classic Yacht Symposium in Helsinki. It's an absolutely fantastic event, and now I'm part of the organizing committee. It's now the premier worldwide gathering for classic yacht enthusiasts, historians, professionals, and sailors, and the place to be every March.
Joshua Slocum was the first person to set a solo circumnavigation of the world. He did that in 1898, and it took him 3 years and 2 months. Since that time, 7,296 people have climbed the Mount Everest. 1,848 sailors have sailed around the Cape Horn, and just 643 people went into space. So if you think that going into space is special, just less than 200 people have sailed single-handed around the Horn. And Charlie Dallin was number 194 during the 2025 Vendée Globe.
Good morning, everybody. My name is James Robinson Taylor, and I'm a photographer of yachts and sailing boats. Here it is wonderful. The greatest thing is obviously the Northern Light. There's a completely different feel. I usually work most of the time in the Mediterranean or in the British, in the what do you call it? The Isles, the English Isles. Anyway, and coming up to Scandinavia is fantastic. The light and the people and the color of the water sometimes is fascinating. You most certainly will. I've been doing 8 meters for a long time, and I can't wait to get back to Turku and do this wonderful event.
Henrik Ramsay was one of the most well-known sailors in Finland. He wrote a book about sailing in Archipelago 1946, and now the book is available also in English.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a journey to the golden years of sailing together with Torre Holm. Torre Holm was a Swedish yacht designer, well known through the world. He designed a number of excellent Skerry cruisers, 6 meters and 8 meters yachts. And this year we are privileged to see several of his yachts, at least 2 of his yachts, sailing in the 8-meter World Cup in Turku in this August. And if you want to learn more about the history of Torre Holm and his yachts, please find everything in this book.
Bonjour, je suis Marie Tabarly et j'étais invitée par l'organisation, spécialement William Collier, pour parler de bateaux classiques. Pourquoi venir ? En dehors du fait que les organisateurs sont vraiment très sympas et qu'en plus il y a d'excellents saunas ici. On passe vraiment un grand moment et puis je pense qu'on va apprendre plein de choses sur les bateaux classiques avec pas mal de gens qui sont passionnés et ce sera un grand moment.
My name is Charlotte Hellman, and I was one of the keynote speakers 2 years ago. I talked about the restoration of the Swedish 12-meter Princess Svanovich. It was built in 1930. She sailed for the very first time in October 2022. And she did an entire summer in 23 without an engine. But last year we had an engine, and we did something that is rather odd for a 12-meter. We raised her double-handed in the Ray Marine 2-star race, 300 nautical miles across the Baltic, 2 people for a 12-meter. But we got some lovely images, and we had the most fun doing that. This winter, as we speak, the rather famous interior with marquetry, the 12 different panels and doors are being built back in. So when we launch her late May this year, the restoration would have been completed, and we will celebrate that by showing her off along the Swedish coasts. We will start by going through Göta Canal, which is a rather unusual event. The mast will need to go on and off a few times, but she belongs to Swedish heritage that belongs to all of us. So we really want the general public to see her, and for her to be able to tell them about this great heritage that she's only one representative of. I would like to finish this off by saying in Swedish, Ni måste komma hit. Det här Classic Yacht Symposium i Helsingfors är en av årets absoluta höjdpunkter. Så nästa år hoppas jag att vi är många fler svenskar här. Det är ett helt fantastiskt evenemang. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Eveline Ansel. I'm the curator of the Herreshoff Marine Museum in Bristol, Rhode Island, which is, partway between Boston and New York. And I'm very, very happy to be here for the third year in a row. I can't believe that they keep inviting me back. Delighted to actually be here again and see all these people who have become good friends. But we have a lot going on at the Herreshoff Museum as well in Bristol. And I do hope that if you ever are in New England, that you'll come and see us. There's plenty to see. We have new exhibits. We have a very active lecture program that's going on at the moment. We also have lots of classes to offer, both adult education and continuing education, bronze casting, woodworking, all sorts of fun things, and a very active on the water program as well. So if you ever have a chance, come see our 75 original Herreshoff yachts, our thousands of historic photos, our new exhibits, and maybe sign up for a class or a lecture as well. So thank you again for having me.
My name is Miriam Kalland, and I'm a professor in early education. I was asked what is the value with sailing when bringing up children. And I think that one value is that the children learn to know nature. They learn to know forces that are stronger than themselves. They learn to be careful. They learn to do what they are said to do in the boat. Of course, you should start in the small scale with short trips so that they learn to enjoy the silence, the nature, the beauty. And one tip, always have enough food and snacks with you when you sail with children.
Right. Hi, my name is Steve Tsuchiya. I'm a yachting historian who specializes in the America's Cup. I also serve as the chairman of the selection committee of the America's Cup Hall of Fame. And I also serve on the America's Cup committee of the New York Yacht Club. And one of the questions I've been asked is, what do you think about today's America's Cup? I personally think, again, this is just my personal opinion, that the AC-75 monohulls that foil and that can go up to 4.5 to 5 times faster than the wind is a step in the right direction. I think America's Cup AC-75s represent what is good about the America's Cup and what the point of the America's Cup is. The point of the America's Cup is to develop the fastest round the buoy racing boats, but it's also about pushing the technology forward in yachting. And from that standpoint, the AC-75s meet that criteria. I also think the AC-75s are aesthetically beautiful, except for maybe perhaps the commercial advertisement that's spread on the boats, sails, and the hulls. But from a design, from a, I should say, hull shape and the overall look and the foils, I think they're beautiful boats.
Hey everyone, my name is Harri Kilander. From the largest wooden boating society in Finland, we have 800 members and we are growing by several tens of new wooden boaters every year. And today in the Classic Symposium in Helsinki, we are discussing the ownership versus guardianship of wooden boats. And sometimes we hear people asking if there's a future for wooden boats and does it make sense to buy an old wooden boat because it's so complicated and laborious to maintain one. And our wooden boating society, one of the founding principles has always been that we help to spread the knowledge, the understanding of how to maintain your wooden boat in a good sailing or boating condition. We have small sailing dinghies, we have rowing boats, we have 8-meter class boats in the society, and obviously we have runabouts, new runabouts. We have old 100-year-old saloon boats, mahogany boats, boats self-built from pine. And the goal is to maintain this sailing and boating legacy. Sometimes it's 100 years old, and ourselves being the guardians of these magnificent boats. The goal is to maintain these boats so that they will sail for the next 100 years.